War, misery, and conflict continues in Gaza, in Ukraine, in Kashmir, around the globe. Today is another sad day for peace. The day started with the ironic and heart-wrenching news that the US has airdropped aid in Gaza. Imagine the generosity. 38,000 meals for more than 2.5 million starving people. People who are starving because the US chooses to arm and encourage their oppressor. This is like throwing a bowl of corn to feed millions of women, children, and elderly. What a mockery of humanity. What an abuse to human dignity. What an insult to American taxpayers' intellect. Supply one side with weapons, another with food, and then veto a ceasefire. Did you know Joe Biden was such an excellent stand up comedian? Wouldn't it make more sense to just not provide weapons for genocide? If you feel happy butchering well fed people, you could easily tell Israel to let the aid trucks drive through. It's surely not for people, it's for politics. A face saving facade. Another attempt at fooling the world and the US citizens who are paying through their noses to fund imperial wars and genocide around the world, while there are American citizens sleeping on footpaths and starving. Why can't the US government save funding the oppressors and throw some aid to its own poor citizens? US and Israel are fast losing allies in the international arena. Under pressure of their civil societies, even the closest of allies are now forced to condemn Israel's atrocities and cannot stand with the US when it comes to voting in world forums like the United Nations. Joe Biden and Benjamin Netanyahu are under intense criticism and pressure, not only from international community, but also from their own citizens who are fed up of warmongering of their governments. The other day, self-immolation by an active-duty US serviceman in front of Israeli embassy in Washington, D.C., while shouting, "Free Palestine," till he could no more, further fueled the compassion against atrocious behavior of United States and Israeli leadership. Ironically, this is not the first incident of this kind, and perhaps, even more tragically, not the last. Bushnell has become a hero, the martyr of Palestine, which is going to haunt the US administration for some time to come. Although the government and sponsored media are trying to downplay the incident by questioning the mental health of Bushnell, a stupid argument, it has certainly added to the pressure. And therefore, Biden is looking for face-saving solutions. Biden is in a dilemma. He needs vote from the people who are beginning to despise him. And on the other hand, he needs the Zionist money to run his campaign. Brutal attack by the Israeli forces on unarmed innocent people lined up to receive aid has also received wider international condemnation. Another development that shocked the US and Israel was the dropping of aid from air. On Monday, France and Jordan took the first step, and food and supplies were dropped in occupied areas by Jordanian Air Force. The next day, aircraft from Egypt, UAE, France, and Jordan participated in a joint airdrop operation. Biden must have felt left out and defeated. The world has found a way of helping the oppressed Palestinians. The message was simple: if you don't allow passage through land, we will use the air. Though airlift is very expensive as compared to land and the sea, but it was still symbolically strong enough a message that the blockade can be breached if there is a will. Not to be left behind, the US immediately followed suit, albeit too late to retrieve any honor. Some of the eye opening reactions, even from the US citizens: the devil arms his demons while pretending to be concerned about innocent civilians. This is for politics, not for people. The US should help American citizens by spending on them rather than fueling wars and genocide around the globe. Airdropping aid into an area sieged by our ally that we pay for and arm is absolute nonsense. Our leaders think we are dumb. This is typical for the United States to fund both sides of the war. Nothing new. Joey throwing Hail Marys for votes this year. We see through you. Your days are numbered. And look at this one: waiting for Russia to airdrop aid in Ukraine. Tragic. No matter what the end result of the conflict, one thing is very clear: US and Israel have lost legitimacy and primacy.